And three, two, one. Look up. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chocolate Hazelnut Podcast. I'm Chocolate.
And I'm Hazelnut.
And welcome to our show. Today we have a subreddit from Am I the
Yes, a
Asshole?
subreddit post.
Hazelnut's going to read it, and we look forward to seeing your reaction.
All right, so this post is coming from a Redditor that is going by the name of Doorway 9757657. Long name. Anyway, so she's discussing.
She's discussing what?
She's discussing something that's going on. So
Can we get it together, Hazelnut? You just like giggling over there.
I know.
What's going on? Hold on, before we get into this, what's going on?
Know.
You must be feeling good. Do you got a little bubbly over there?
Uh-huh.
I'm not in the studio with you today, so.
All right, no, let me read this Reddit. All right.
You sure?
So it goes on to say, and this is the Am I the Asshole Reddit, so it's AITA, okay? So it says, for my reaction when I learned that my fiancé returned my wedding dress and replaced it with the one his mom picked out for me. So the original poster explains, my fiancé, male 33, and I, female 28, are getting married in December. His mom is the intrusive type, but she's nice overall and we somewhat get along. I hate to admit that wedding planning has been an absolute nightmare. His mom wasn't willing to agree on most things.
So, can you pause right there?
Uh-huh.
So, I want to say, what the hell does his mama have to agree on for their wedding day?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, even if she was paying for the wedding, it's their wedding, not yours. So you really don't have any decisions. You can give your opinion, but it's their decision.
In my opinion, if she's that dead set on being involved in a wedding like that, she need to marry her son.
What did he say?
If she's that dead set on being involved in a wedding like that, she need to marry her son.
Let's continue. So she says, and my fiance said that since he's her only son, then I should respect and appreciate this vision she has for the wedding and how it should be.
Run for the hills! Run for the hills!
She insisted to come along for wedding dress shopping. I took her with me and my mom and friends.
My mom would have beat her up.
Oh my gosh, this woman. Oh, okay, let me finish. Hold on, I have so much stuff to say already. I just want to get through this read. Okay, so I was so lucky to have found what I was looking for. But she picked a dress that she liked so much and said that she always pictured her son's bride in it.
No, she pictured herself in it.
That ain't creepy, right? Mom and friends thought that line was creepy. Right? That's not creepy, right? I thought this dress was somewhat creepy. Wow, we're all on the same page here. I thought this dress was somewhat creepy and totally not my type. She had to emphasize that. I apologized and thanked her for her vision, but told her that I'd already decided on a dress and that I had envisioned myself wearing it at my wedding. She got all pissy because of it apparently and must have told my fiance because he came home in the evening ranting about how I had made his mom upset and turned down her help in choosing the wedding dress and excluded her from the process. I asked, what process? Duh, it's just a wedding dress. My wedding dress, so I really don't get how she should get a say in it at all. He got upset and said that this attitude of mine wasn't working on him or his mom. He said that I should consider the dress his mom wanted me to buy, especially knowing that both dresses weren't that much different anyway.
Hold on.
Like she said.
I got one thing to say. Fuck your mom. Like, for real. Something, they got an incestuous type relationship going on.
I mean,
they may not be sleeping together, but they mind fucking each other for real.
I I wouldn't even say it's coming from the son. He's been groomed by his mother to like put mommy first, and that's basically what this is manifesting at right now. But let me finish because there's still more. There's still more. She says, but I told him that yes, they were different, like so much different. Anyways, we argued about it and then we dropped it. Yesterday, I came home and found out that he had returned my wedding dress and replaced it with the one his mom wanted. I called him and he was straightforward about what he did and why he did it. I lost it and started screaming at him. He asked me to calm down and really give this dress a chance. I refused to even listen. To listen. I screamed at him without giving him a chance to speak. He got home and we had an argument. I then went on to stay with one of my friends and he kept calling, then texting, saying that I overreacted and that it's his wedding too, so it wasn't cool how I screamed at him. He insisted I give this dress a chance. He went on and on about how his mom has a vision and good intentions and I think I'm taking too long.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
All right, well, why you do that?
No. Right here.
So
He went on.
So while you looking for it,
Okay, here we go. He went on and on about how his mom has a vision and good intentions and just wants what's best for me as her future daughter in law. Mom is livid and has been wanting to go scream at him and his mom, but my dad said that this isn't worth ruining my relationship with my in laws. He suggested I wisen up and go with the flow. But is it too much for me to be able to pick out my own wedding dress without being guilty about it just to keep the peace? Am I the asshole for my reaction?
I want to slap both her fiance and her daddy. Daddy bend over and kiss ass. So does her fiance. So
True.
so.
So I have a lot to say about
But
this.
before you get on your high horse, let me do something.
Okay.
So everybody, thank you for coming to our podcast. We're going to be dropping shows every Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays. Also, we have an author on the set dropping children books. Hazelnut, tell them the name of your book. Give it a shout out.
I have a couple books out. First Day of School and also Zaya's Curly Hair. They're part of the Adventure of Sean and Zaya series. There will be more books being released later on this year. They are available currently on Amazon for $8.99 a piece. Please go, purchase them. Let me know what you think about them. Leave an honest review. I would really appreciate it.
All right. Now, enough for the sponsorship ad. Let's get into the show.
More like a promo, not sponsorship yet,
Right,
but we'll get there. Anywho, so the first thing that I will say is that in dealing with this particular situation, first of all, when it comes to the fiance's mom, right? She is not the bride. She's not the bride to be. She's not even the bride's mother. Like I could almost be a little bit more sympathetic towards the in law if she was the bride's mother because the mother's like, oh, but you'll look so cute in this and you do that and moms tend to be a little bit more overreactive in that way. But this is not your daughter, and granted, that is your son, and he may be your one and only son. However, when it comes to weddings, generally speaking, the wedding is for the bride. Like,
Sure?
correct me if I'm wrong. I said generally speaking. Don't get me wrong. Grooms like to have nice weddings and things like that, but if you ask the majority of men, they truly do not care about all of the monotony of what all goes into a wedding. It's like, is the bride happy with these decisions? Yes. Is that what she wants? Cool. Is this the colors that she wants? I like them. I think they're cool. That's great. Like they're not so caught up in like all of the tedious details of a wedding in that regard, like the bride would be. So with all of that being said, the bride here says planning this wedding has been a nightmare because his mother is unwilling to agree on any of the decisions they've been trying to make. So for me, like, whose wedding is it? Because it's not your mom's wedding. Why is she even trying to dictate a wedding?
I agree with you on that. At this point, he needs to stand up and step up and be a man and tell his mom, "You need to chill. You are making my wife, my future bride, my future wife, my current bride, my fiance, unhappy on a day that's supposed to be a day of her dreams, the day that she makes her ideas come to life, so that she can have her quote unquote Cinderella moment and
Right.
end up
And
with the
then
man
not
of
to
her dreams."
mention that whenever they have an anniversary for years to come, they're going to think back to their freaking wedding.
And
Whose
instead of,
wedding do they want to remember?
apparently he wants to remember his mom's wedding because
Right?
he thinks he's marrying his mom, and that's my issue. He had, the Oedipus complex where it says the son wants to kill the father so he can marry his mother and vice versa.
Yes.
That's what is. This is a classic example of that. Like, if they not sleeping together, their relationship is too damn close because he's a man, she's a woman. That's your mom. You already came out her vagina. Stop trying to go back in. I'm just saying.
So I agree that he should step up for his wife to be. This is the part that really kind of gets under my skin even more. The fact that one, your mother left from the wedding dress shopping after your wife has already made a decision. She's the one wearing the dress. I don't care if your mom says she would hand make this dress and this, that, and the third. If she doesn't want it, she doesn't have to wear it. Period.
She don't even
So
got. She don't
your
even have to
mom
come
left
to
the
the wedding.
store to come to complain to you to say, "Oh, your wife doesn't. She doesn't want to agree with my decisions and this and that and the third." And then you come home and get into an argument with your wife.
So can I ask you a question? Would you even let his mama come to the wedding at this point?
Quite honestly, that's a hard decision. At this point, I will be leaning towards of like, look, this is what I'm gonna do. You can come or not come. It's up to you. I don't think I would outright ban her from the wedding, but I most certainly would ban her from any more decision making. That went on with the wedding at this point because again, it's not her wedding. And if you are so hell bent on trying to tell me how to have my wedding, what I should wear, the dress you envision your son's bride to be to wear. Like, first of all, like what are you doing? You're trying to write your son's life for him? Are you trying to live vicariously through your son? Because that's what it seems like you're doing.
Oh,
Then, on
that's
top of
exactly what
that,
she's
the fact
doing.
that your son doesn't even see the manipulation that's going on is another red flag for me because quite honestly, they don't say how long they've been together, whatever, but y'all been together long enough to be walking down the aisle and you're having to deal with all of this. She says we somewhat get along, which insinuated to me that this has not been the first issue she's had with the mother intruding into their relationship because it's not just the wedding. Because after the wedding, what comes next? Now she wants to tell you how to raise your children. Now she wants to tell you what house to buy. Now she wants to tell you what to do with your money. Now she wants to tell you how to, all these other little things.
How to raise
And
your
whose side is
children.
your husband going to be on? Not your side, apparently.
She wants to tell you how to raise your children, what to spend your money on, all of this stuff.
Exactly.
Stuff that start out little but builds up over time. But this is a huge issue
This is a huge issue.
because this is a wedding day. As a man, I could never dream of my mother doing this. I'd be like, "Hey, mom, I'm glad you want to help, but in reality, unless she really asks you for your opinion, you probably shouldn't be giving it."
Right.
The only
And
per-
then throwing a tantrum when you don't get your way.
the only persons that should be giving their opinion, other than the husband himself, like, yeah, I really don't like that dress, but that's a dangerous thing to say. Just saying, that's a good thing.
Exactly.
But if you really think she doesn't look good in it, you have to weigh the risk versus reward.
I mean, but
But
see,
her mother, her sisters, and the people that she invites to give that input
her people.
on especially on the dress specifically. Now, the overall arena, both of them have say, but
Mm-hmm.
in general, most men are going to defer to their future
To the
bride
bride.
because
Exactly.
I just want to look good in my tux and get it over with.
And I would venture to say that's the majority of men when it comes to weddings.
Like,
Like they just want a nice wedding. You know,
I,
they might have a
I,
vague kind of
I,
like idea, like I want a big grand wedding, or no, I want a small intimate wedding. You know, maybe they have some ideas on colors and everything. But when it comes to all the monotony of the wedding, all the tedious small decisions, what kind of napkins, what food, what about these chairs, what
now,
about this decoration?
now the men might.
Literally all of those giant, you know, tiny little things, all of them kind of gets wrapped up
Now,
into the woman making those decisions, because the guy's like, whatever, like, you know, if you like it, cool, like, I think it's great, I didn't know this flower was different from that flower, so on and so forth.
so the one thing I will say is most men want a hand on what type of food gonna be there.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm
Hey, look,
saying.
we gotta feed this monster
They
right here.
have, I mean, they have certain things they care about, but not like, not to the same extent that
But
generally women do.
a lot of men would be happy with just going, either doing a small intimate ceremony or just dressing up, going to the courthouse, signing that paper, and walking out the door.
Exactly. So with all of that, with all of that being said, the other thing that kind of like, for me,
We
makes
have
this entire situation worse
we're
is
at
that the bride to be's own father,
keep going.
her own father was like, you know what, just, you know, maybe try to give it a chance just to keep the peace because you don't want to ruin your relationship with your in-laws. But at this point, I feel like it's the in-laws who are going to ruin the relationship, because not only are you overstepping your bounds and trying to insert yourself where you generally do not belong, like you are making this entire thing about you.
Yes.
Like
So
you're upset about things that you don't even have a true say so in, and you're causing turmoil in their relationship at home.
okay. Well, we have about 2 minutes left. We're at 16:40. So
Okay,
I would like to say something now.
go for it. I'm done talking.
I would fire his mom. I would fire my dad. Tell them they sitting in the back of the wedding. Yeah, like for real. Like they not even allowed. You can't sit with the family. You got to sit in the back. Matter of fact, you got to sit. If we got 2 stories, you got to sit up in the balcony, out of sight. I don't even want to see you. You're lucky I don't put you in the broom closet. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
mom done overstepped her boundaries, and dad, I'm sorry, that was a weak ass answer. Let's just be honest.
I agree. He should have taken it for his daughter on that one.
Like I can imagine how he was doing his wedding with his wife. So that's probably why he like I gave in to what her mama want. Like for
Uh,
real. Like it's something about that. Like if you're religious, you realize that you when you marry your wife or your husband, y'all are supposed to become one flesh. One flesh. I'm not gonna get into the different scriptures because I can. I'm gonna leave it at that. You leave
but
your mom, you leave your dad, and you become one with your wife, and same with her. Like we need to go back to the dowry system here in the U.S., where the man has to pay for the right to marry that woman and
oh
her
Lord,
family.
that's a whole. You just opened a whole can
Uh,
of
we,
angry
we
folks
need
coming at
we need
us.
to we need to go back to that because
Um,
that would make that would make marriages last longer because the family's like, I'm not giving back my 2 goats and a cow because you want to get a divorce.
Oh, that's so funny. But with all that being said, you guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Do you agree or disagree? Like, what would you do if this was you or your in-laws or even like your husband? Let us know. And if you had a terrible wedding, we'd like to hear about that experience and where you guys are now.
And you can, if you would like to submit any videos or topics, you can mention them down below, or you can email us at chocolatehazelnut112
112.
at gmail.com. We would love to hear what you have to say. Uh, Anything else, Hazelnut?
No, that will be all.
Nothing chocolate? Okay, cool. So don't forget to catch us on our other podcast. Stay breezy. I'm so corny. It's sad, right?
I know.
I know. You want a dad joke for today?
No.
Oh, I was about to tell you one.
What is it?
Why did the Eminem go to the store?
To skip to Malou.
To get some peanuts. Ha 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 ha.
Okay.
I know. I just that makes no sense unless you eat M&Ms.
That's like that one little joke when the kids, it comes from the show Bluey. It's
Mm-hmm.
like open the toilet lid, do it. Open the toilet. No, you have to open it. You open the toilet lid.
Open.
Stick your finger in the toilet. Clean the toilet. All right, take your finger out. Close the lid. Sorry, you just cleaned my dirty toilet.
I just cleaned your what?
My dirty toilet. Like kids, like little kids who watch the show Bluey,
Mm-hmm.
like they find that joke so hilarious.
I smell poop on my finger. I don't think that was the toilet I stuck my finger in. All right. Well, you guys, that's it for Chocolate Hazelnut Podcast. I hope y'all like our comedy section.